Departed, I'll cover you in a dream. On? Is it on? I can't tell. Anyway. Okay, so hello, my name is Howard Storm, and welcome to another episode of Secondary Comedy. And today I'm going to be trying some physics jokes, since those are actually jokes I kind of know. So here we go. Again, usual secondary comedy, found these online. I will make my own stuff eventually, don't worry. I just need some time. So let's start. What's the most terrifying word in nuclear physics? Oops. Why is it best to teach physics on the edge of a cliff? Because that's where the students have the most potential. Why was Heisenberg's wife unhappy? Because whenever he had the energy, he didn't have the time. That wasn't very good. Have you heard of the physicist who got chilled to absolute zero? He's okay now. Okay, well, because it's zero Kelvin. It's not bad. Einstein developed a theory about space, and it was about time too. I was studying frequency in physics class. Now my brain hurts. Zzz. Schrödinger and Heisenberg were out driving together when they pulled over by a policeman. The cop walks up to the window and asks, "Sir, do you know how fast you were going?" Heisenberg replies, "No, but I know exactly where I was." The cop's unamused and orders the physicists to open their trunk. He looks and sees a dead cat. "Now you know there's a dead cat in our trunk." Schrödinger replies, "Well, I do now." These that wasn't bad, really. They should have just stuck with the Heisenberg one. What a physicist hears when he watches Star Wars. May the mass acceleration times acceleration be with you. Because of second Newton's law. Why does a burger have less energy than a steak? Because it's in its ground state. And I feel like pausing is just like, imagine if I pause and then you don't laugh. It's just kind of like an awkward silence just for the whole thing. So I kind of feel weird pausing in between them. What did the nuclear physicist have for lunch? Fission chips. I'm just going to have to pause. Why is quantum mechanics the original hipster? It's described the universe before it was cool. Do you know why physicists are bad at sex? Because they can't find the position when they have the momentum, and when they find a position, they lose the momentum. These are all about like quantum physics and stuff. Honestly, they should do more like GCSE jokes. How many general relativity theorists does it take to change a light bulb? 2. One to hold the light bulb, and 1 to rotate space. That's not very funny. I don't like that, honestly. A neutron walks into a bar and asks, "How much for a whiskey?" The bartender smiles and says, "For you, no charge." That was good. I should just be rating these. Physics is the science where it takes long, complicated equations to explain why round balls roll. Honestly, it's a good point. Literally, they take like 5 different equations just to explain why you walk. Where does bad light end up? In prison. Did you hear about the physicist who was reading a great book on anti-gravity? He couldn't put it down. He floated too. Why is electricity an ideal citizen? Because it conducts itself so well. Only in the right conductor. How many physicists does it take to change a light bulb? 11. 1 to do it, and then 10 to co-author the paper. That is very true. You have to have so many people to pre-read this stuff. A string theorist gets caught cheating on his wife and says, "Wait, I can explain everything." Well, yeah, you haven't proved it yet. A man at the bar tells a bartender, "I'll have some H2O." The man next to him says, "I'll have some H2O too." He dies. If you didn't know, H2O2 is poisonous. Why can't you trust an atom? Because they make up everything. And they're negative on the outside and positive on the inside. Quite annoying. I have a new theory on inertia, but it doesn't seem to be gaining in many momentum. Yes, of course. No motum. What did one electron say to the other electron? Don't get excited. Don't get excited. You only get into a state. Two atoms were walking down the street. One turns to the other and says, "Oh no, I think I lost an electron." The other responds, "Are you sure?" "Yes, I'm positive." What do you call a 1 kilogram of falling figs? 1 fig Newton. I don't know what fig Newton is, so it's not funny to me. But, oh yeah, this guy's got a good point. It's actually 9.8 fig Newtons. Yes, of course. You see, because it's times the gravitational pull. So it's 9.8 Newtons. Relativity. Okay, no, I'm meant to be relativity. Relativity. When the family gets together. Black holes. When you get back in black socks. Critical mass. A big group of film reviewers. Hyperspace. When you park at the superstore. I don't get it. Oh, because of your relative and black socks. I see. And critical mass. A big group of film review. Ah, I see. Ah, okay. Yeah, it's hard to study it. Sorry, I'm just looking at the ad, and it's just someone looking through a microscope at someone's vagina. I don't know, I just found that funny. What happens when electrons lose their energy? They get bored. Bohr's a physicist. If you didn't know, I didn't. I honestly don't know what he does anyway. How many astronomers does it take to change a light bulb? None. Astronomers prefer the dark. How long have we been streaming for? 8 minutes. I'll give it some more time. Okay. All the physicists meet up in heaven and decide to play a game of hide and seek. They decide that Fermi will be the seeker, so he closes his eyes and begins counting to 100. All the physicists scatter except for Newton, who calmly reaches into his pocket and takes out some chalk and draws a square on 1 meter on a side. Fermi finishes counting and turns around, seeing Newton standing in his chalk square. He yells, "I found Newton! Newton's out!" Newton protests. He says, "No, I'm Newton in a meter square. I'm Pascal. Pascal's out." Okay, that's very funny. Because force over area equals pressure. So Pascal's actually out. A ball walks into a man. Oops, wrong frame of reference. A neutrino walks through a bar. There are 96 of these. I don't think I'll get through all of them, but I want to. These are pretty funny. What did the male magnet say to the female magnet? From your backside, I thought you were repulsive. However, seeing you from the front, I find you rather attractive. God, that is a one-liner. That's a what do you? Yeah, somehow still creepy. Someone says, so true. What did one photon say to the other photon? I'm sick and tired of your interference. Bartender says, we don't serve tactons in here. A tacton walks into a bar. I don't get it. Do you hear about the bi-curious physicist? She performed a double slit experiment. What is blue and smells like red paint? Red paint moving very fast towards you. If sound cannot travel in a vacuum, why are vacuums so noisy? That's a good one. Thing is, because like everybody knows what it means, so because vacuums are pretty anyway. Definition of a tacton: a gluon that hasn't dried completely. Alternative definition: a subatomic particle devoid of taste. A Higgs boson walks into church. The priest says, "You can't come in here. We don't allow Higgs bosons." The Higgs boson says, "But without me, how can you have mass?" That's not. I get it, but that's like a dad joke. Who was the first electricity detective? Sherlock Holmes. And his partner, Dr. Watson. What's the difference between an auto mechanic and a quantum mechanic? A quantum mechanic can get the car inside the garage without opening the door. Yeah, okay. I mean, I know that's a joke, but that's kind of cool because it's true. What is an astronomical unit? One hell of a big apartment. I'm not really American, so it doesn't really go like, oh, that's so funny because I'm sure like America probably something unit means something. What do you call scientists who love to study gas laws by drinking soda? Physicists. A sodologist. I don't know what it is. The facts about electricity might shock you. Circuit engineers like to keep their news current. No such thing as a circuit engineer, so they aren't able to like much of anything. I don't get that. Well, I did just read out a comment, so that might have just been a comment. A subatomic duck gives 0 quarks about your opinion. Yeah, duck you, man. Okay, you know, I'm gonna end this here. I'm gonna end it on the magical number of 69. The frequency of physics homework hurts. And with that, good night, everybody. Okay, maybe I should start writing my own ones, honestly. Because I'm not looking through these beforehand, I'm just going straight through. Anyway, thank you. Thanks all for watching. I'll see you tomorrow night. Or tomorrow night, because I need to catch up. I missed a day. Bye. Good night, everyone.